Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to TKKN and Buff Save the Universe, episode 43. It is Tuesday, February 1st, 2022. I'm Tekken Master, joined by.
Bob Larkin. Now, I gotta ask this. So we do about one or two of these a year. So in another 6 years, we'll hit 50. Isn't that something? Just think what the landscape of our world would be like in 6 years. You'll be back under the reign of Trump, and
What else?
yeah, back under the
Wow,
reign of
great way to
Trump.
start the podcast, Buff. Thanks.
America will be a fire, lit a fire, like literally. Up here from Canada, all we have to do is just look to the south, and we'll just see a great big wall of light. And it's not because of hope; it's because all America is burning. And I'm watching the Women's Royal Rumble because there's nothing else on, and Summer Rae is there. There you go. She just jumped in the ring now. Concentrate, Joe. Anyway, anyways, I watched this Women's Royal Rumble 3 times on the network and not because I want to. You think, wow, meh, but if also, but where's the Men's Royal Rumble? That's the one I want to see. That's the one I hardly saw at all on Saturday night, but that's okay. We'll get into that another time. But anyways, but then like 6 years from now, Tekken, you'll be up here in Canada with me. We'll be roasting marshmallows in the fires of America. That's what we'll be doing. That's right. Because they won't let you in New Zealand now, that's for
Oh
sure.
man, that's gonna be like the tagline for our next podcast or whatever. It's like we're just
Roast.
gonna roast marshmallows on the flames of America.
That's going to be somebody's book. If somebody was to write a book about what's going on, that's what this should be the title of it. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Summer Rae, the wrestler, said that she was going to donate. She's going to take her winnings and buy cryptocurrency with it. So what do you think about cryptocurrency?
It is a Ponzi scheme slash scam that you should
Yeah.
stay away from at all costs.
Oh, I wish you had told me that before I took all my money and bought cryptocurrencies. That's all right. No, no, that's all right. I am in the same boat as you are in that belief. But what happens if we're wrong, Tekken? We'll still have money. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, cryptocurrencies, Tekken. Crazy. What's going to happen to cryptocurrencies in 6 years when we're doing our 50th episode? You never know. Here comes Nikki Bella. Anyways, so uh, besides the point, we have a lot to talk about here today. We're going to talk about the fallout of 2021. We're going to talk about Tekken's favorite guy, Joe Biden. We're going to be talking about lots of things. We're going to talk about comics. We're going to talk about video games. This is where Tekken and I catch up. Instead of yelling at each other on Friday nights playing golf like we usually do, which I think you just that as some person has said, and I won't name names, but it's JCP. That, that this you live for Friday nights because you fight with me all the time, and I'm a lovable guy, but no, you just want to fight me, and that's okay. That's good. So, anyways, let's get it right out of the. This is something that's been really itching your underwear since this has all started, and
What?
that is the acquisitions.
That's whatever.
Microsoft went and they bought Activision, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Sony just announced, though it's been in apparently the pipe, this mythical pipe that you talk about, that now Bungie has been the makers of Halo. Bungie has
Well,
then
they
been.
don't make it anymore. They created it, but then
I
they
know.
sold it to Microsoft, or they don't have the rights or whatever. But yeah,
But anyways, the people who made Microsoft what they were with their Master Chief,
made Microsoft what they were.
absolutely. Not their computer systems, not my laptop system that I'm using right now no, it was all Master Chef. Absolutely. And Halo that made it all like this. So that's here. Anyways, so what's your first? Let's start with Activision, and we'll go from there.
Okay, well, like anything specifically?
Well, what's your feelings about it? Well, at the end of the day, what does Tekken have? Uh, let's break this down because personally, with your rage, that should be entertaining. Business
You're
wise,
right.
with your rage, it should be interesting. And then overall, with your rage, it should be interesting. So go ahead.
All right. Well, before I start, I just want to say 6 years we could also all be dead if we start a war with Russia and then like a WMD start getting flung around and we end up in a mutually assured destruction scenario. But hey, whatever. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Anyway,
Hey, it didn't happen in Saudi Arabia.
what do you,
They went looking for years for weapons of mass destruction
wow, you mean
there.
Iraq? Jeez,
I,
get your country straight.
I didn't see any Kuwait. I didn't see anything like that.
You said no, 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 no. You said Saudi Arabia, dude.
Well, okay. You know
That's because you have
Kuwait.
wrestling on the brain, though.
That's right. I got Sergeant Slaughter winning the world title off of the Ultimate Warrior in Royal Rumble '91. And then they got really mad at Vince for keep saying Saddam Hussein's name. Okay, we won't say it anymore. And then the next night he had a promo and Slaughter kept saying Saddam Hussein's name. Oh, this scarf given to me by our leader Saddam Hussein. Oh no, you're not supposed to say that. Yeah, Vince, you're just drumming up. He thought that selling. I'll leave that for another time. We'll get that into the wrestling section.
All
Don't
right.
distract me.
So yeah,
Don't
back to
distract me,
Activision,
Nikki
Blizzard,
Bella. Stop
King,
distracting me. Now, anyways, get on with
Microsoft,
your show.
Xbox. Um, if this would have happened before the Bethesda thing, I'd have been like super duper surprised. I mean, it was still pretty shocking just because of just like the didn't see it coming. Like it's like I wouldn't think they would go from like if they could have. It's like it's weird because it's like if they could have got Activision. I mean, I guess it makes sense because like their stock price was like down because of like their whole situation that they've been going through, with all the harassment and things, and then just like having bad output on their software. But then, I guess that coupled with okay, well they're they're even cheaper now, so we might as well go for it if we're already buying up publishers, which is insane as well. Still, just can't get over that. Um, but yeah, it's I don't know. It's like ultimately, I don't really care that much because like I've had like enough time to like think about it and digest it, and it's like we won't really know until like the 2023 contracts run out, and then even then it's like I would say like you need like 5 to 10 years to see how this is gonna play because it's like yeah, Activision themselves was a company that was like acquiring a bunch of IPs and studios and then just like sat on them because they didn't really do anything with it. They have a bunch of like stuff they could do. So it's like it's very interesting in that regard as far as like there's a bunch of like ancient stuff like Pitfall, all the Atari era stuff that they got because Activision was like one of the first developers for games in console space or like in the console era in general. And so they've got all that stuff. And then they've got like but then they've got like all the money makers, like Guitar Hero, Call of Duty, Tony Hawk, all that good stuff. But then the problem they had was like they milked everything and ran it into the ground, which is why they're in the state that they're in because they basically just turned into the Call of Duty factory, and we're putting one out every year. But then it's like not everybody plays it, so it's like it's a known quantity, so you know where you stand with it. So if you're a fan, you're like, oh, this sucks. I can only play Call of Duty on Xbox after that 2023 contract's up probably, but we'll see. But then it's like, and then if you're not, you're like, okay, well, whatever. Like, this doesn't really affect me very much at all because I don't play those games. So, and then like if they,
But
but then they have
but
like the stuff that you do like, but it's like they
yeah.
don't put it. They like stopped making it. So it's like if they make another DJ Hero, I'll be happy. But it's like until then, I can really care less. So,
All right. So just we'll just it's kind of like, and I hate to bring wrestling up. It's like Vince in the WWE, and they acquire all this talent, but they never use them, and eventually they have to get rid of them to make up money. But the thing is, at the same time, people's lives are not like games, right? So what I'm saying is that at the end of all this, is Microsoft going to try to sell off some of these things? And I don't think they will. They're just going to keep them because they can shelf Call of Duty. Well, not going to shelf Call of Duty, but what you're saying, your Sega games and all that kind of stuff, and Atari games and all that until the right time. But guess what? There's never going to be a right time because who wants to play those old fuddy-duddy games?
I mean, there's people out there that do, but I think the more interesting aspect would be like if they brought it back and revitalized it. Like I'm trying to think because it's been because that's like the cycle and the process of like the gaming industry really is like you have like games don't usually go away and then come back and it's like oh man this game is back from like 20 years of never having had a new entry. Like if you look at Tomb Raider is a perfect example because there hasn't been a good length of time where they stopped making Tomb Raider, but then if you look at like the Tomb Raider of like when it first came out and then like the current killer Lara that we have, which is like amazing third person like awesome stuff. So it's like
Yeah.
it's had this like amazing evolution of like what it used to be, and then like what it is, and then like I like tend to use the phrase like legendary games where it's like if they've been around for 25 years, and like they're still putting stuff out, and it's like they didn't really have much of a break, or there was a break, but it's like it wasn't like a 10 or 20 year break of like they just stopped making them and they just like kept pumping them. Well, I won't say pumping them out, but they kept like making those titles, and it's like become a franchise to just like be a flagship for some publisher. So you've got like Resident Evil stuff like that. Final Fantasy, I believe, is in like a 35th year.
Yep.
It's mostly like I wouldn't say mostly Japanese games, but like that's the other thing about these acquisitions is like it's mostly Western companies. It looks like so. I think that is just like a thing that is specific to like this territory, like in America or like the West is just like you have capitalism and just like companies that just grow and then just start eating other companies, and it just becomes a thing where it's just like nom 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 nom, and then like we need to. There's always a bigger fish, and it's like a bigger fish comes along, eats a smaller fish, and it's like, now that fish lives inside the bigger fish, and will make things for the bigger fish to poop out and make profit off of. That's a weird analogy, whatever. But like,
Is that gonna be the title of your book when it comes out? See, my book's gonna be roasting marshmallows on the fires of America over the fires of America. Yours is gonna be eat it all up and poop it all out. The Tiger Master story.
that's not going to be no. But
Yeah, okay.
let's see. So like the Street Fighter has been around forever. That's another legendary franchise. But like it's like that's like one way to do it is like to grow a franchise, or like I guess that's like the preferred model really, because it's like you can like grow a franchise, have a sustained fan base, and like get like more and more sales every version that you put out, and then like with but then like the thing is like you don't overdo it, and that's what happened with like Call of Duty, Guitar Hero, basically all the Activision stuff that they had acquired is like they got to a point where it's like they're putting out like multiple versions of things, and they were just like trying to make as much money. They didn't care about
Yes.
oversaturation, and
Who
they like
cares?
broke every basically brand that they had, and like it had to go into stasis, and like they had to stop. And then they just didn't have any. They didn't come up with anything new. They had no new IP. I mean, there was a prototype that like I don't know what happened there as far as like maybe it just didn't sell, but or probably just didn't sell as much as they want to because they're probably like, oh man, we got an open world game. Maybe it'll be like great like GTA and we'll do GTA numbers, and it didn't. And it's just like so it's like okay, well that goes away too. So they're sitting on all these things, and then it's like yeah, I'm trying to think, dude, because it's like I don't know a lot of examples where it's like something that's just like gone forever. It comes back and it's still awesome, or it's gone forever and it comes back and people are still like, oh yeah. I mean, Street Fighter was kind of gone for like a while, and then it had like a resurgence and it brought back the whole genre. But that wasn't like a 20-year hiatus, or like a 10 or I don't know. That was a decent length hiatus, but
So so
wait, there's like one more point, and then like
okay,
there's also like a bunch of developers that they've acquired, or just like studios that they've acquired that were making games that were good. Like if you look at the Spider-Man Shared Dimensions game, um, and then like Neversoft made all the Tony Hawk games, and they just
hmm
like got really talented in studios like that. But like and then like Sledgehammer or not Sledgehammer or Visceral or crap. I'm trying to think. My brain is trying to like not not get the wrong studio names, but like there's because I'm like wait, is that an EA studio or is that it? Anyway, but like they've got like these different like studios that they've like acquired and gobbled up over time, and then like those studios weren't making Call of Duty, but then they've all been sent to the Call of Duty mines to like go make Call of Duty and help work on it, and it's just like a whole thing. But now those studios are freed up to like make whatever they want to now, I guess, and then whatever Microsoft's vision is of like okay, well we're gonna, which is why we gotta like wait like the 5 to 10 years I'm saying is like to see like what do they do with these other studios that are like just been pumping out or helping pump out Call of Duty that don't have to do that anymore, and they can just have them do. I mean, ideally they could just do new IPs and then see how that goes. Or they could, I imagine what they're probably going to do is just like look at what they have in their portfolio as far as like all the
Yes.
IPs and stuff that they've acquired in this acquisition and be like, okay, what we can bring, yeah, what can we bring back? All right, let's do that. I mean, I guess it's an example. If you look at Crash Bandicoot, that was gone for like a long time, like that and Spyro. Like those are like, I don't know if there are any entries after PS1, but then like there's that recent like remaster collection for like both of them, and then like now because I guess through the rights and licenses, some like yeah, like I guess like Sony never owned it, and like now that the rights were with Activision, and now they're owned by Microsoft, Microsoft owns it, so they could just be like, all right, well we're gonna be putting that out because we're gonna stick it to Sony and be like, haha,
Oh,
middle finger. Actually, double middle finger because we've got Spyro and Crash, and you don't anymore, and now they're exclusive. Ah, ha, 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 just like that. And we're going to stick them behind the Game Pass paywall, and that's the only place you can play it. So,
and who cares?
what?
Who cares?
I mean,
Who
people that
cares
like
about
Spyro and
Crash
Crash care,
Bandicoot?
but,
When was the last time you cared about Crash
I mean,
Bandicoot?
that's what I'm saying is like, that's why I'm kind of just like whatever about it, because it's like, until I like it, I haven't like thoroughly looked over. There was like some list that like went out as far as like stuff that they made, but it wasn't that like. It was surprisingly lackluster. I was like, I'm looking at all these games, and I'm like, not impressed, or not like really jonesing for like a new entry. So
Yeah, Spyro
pass.
the Dragon. Ooh, Spyro the
I mean,
Dragon.
there are Spyro fans out there.
Oh, well, all three of them. Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All they're going to concentrate, I would imagine, in the first couple of years, till this contract is over, is milking this money as much as they can. Get that Call of Duty sweet ass money and all that, and then after a little while, then you get your little trinkles. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of this, and I'll give you a little bit of that. But you're not. They're gonna maximize what they can when they can because they got to make because they got to what? How many billions did they give to this thing?
70 if you round up. It was like 68, 69.
70 billion. $70 billion. Sweet mother. Oh my God. Anyway, so that again, that makes a point, right? It's that they're going to maximize what they can to try to make back because Lord knows they have to. They have to because is Microsoft and I take yeah Microsoft is a traded company, so therefore they got to prove they got to show that they are making a profit after they throw $70 billion that they're going to maximize with what they have. And that's why you'd think that at the end of the contract, they just say, okay, we're now Xbox exclusive, right? Because then they can sell consoles saying, hey, we're the only place to get Call of Duty. Or hey, that
Yeah,
that's
but that's what I'm saying
that
about like if you already don't care about Call of Duty, this doesn't really move the needle because it's
no,
like, well, I'm not gonna buy. Well, I already have a Series S, but like if I didn't, I wouldn't be like, oh man, gotta get me my Call of Duty because I don't play Call of Duty. So it's like that doesn't, that
yep,
doesn't matter to me.
exactly.
But then
And
like you're saying like as far as like making revenue and profit, it's like they just basically like you know negated 40% of their revenue because they're not going to be getting those sales from PlayStation after the
yeah,
contracts expire.
yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
unless I mean, but that's like the thing with like all the
But
statements that have
but
been
but
put
the
out
thing
though
is,
is like they're
this
kind of
there,
like making it seem like they're going to maybe play fair. So I guess we'll see what happens. But
yeah, until they have to sell some consoles. And see, they already put out the report this year that PlayStation is going to beat them in console sales, which is amazing since you can't get a PS5 anywhere. That just staggers my mind. Oh, PlayStation's going to be number two
I
this
guess
year
I guess we'll see
behind
what
the
happens.
Switch.
I'm kind of surprised by that report. I don't I take it with a grain of salt. It's like I'll wait and see on that one. But
Take it
yeah.
with a salt lick. That's what you got to take.
I mean,
Any,
but then that's the other thing is like if you look at this year, since we're like in February, and it's like we got the whole year to like be like okay, what's coming out? It's like what does Xbox have this year that's like exclusive besides Starfall, which is in November? They have like I don't mean I can't think of anything off the top of my head. They probably got like other stuff besides that, but that's like the big game that's like for them, but it's all the way within the year. And then like Sony's basically got the same, they've got a first party game that's big, but they've got multiple first party games this year, and they did last year. They had like Ratchet Returnal. This year they've got Horizon, Gran Turismo, and then like whatever else we'll see at whatever state of plays they have. But like they've got multiple stuff to sustain them throughout the year. And then like supposedly Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 is in development slash possibly coming out this year. So that's I believe also exclusive. So it's like it's like it's kind of just like highlights the situation that Xbox has been in basically since 360 slash Series S, or not Series S, Xbox 360 slash Xbox One era, where it's like they just don't have the output from like first party exclusives to like really be at parity, which kind of just highlights like why they did this deal and like paid so
Yeah,
much
which
for
is
it.
why they can all of a sudden slam the door and say, "Come on, you want to play Call of Duty, you teenage kids slash young adults? We're gonna train your brain to be Microsoft exclusive from now on."
I,
And so, therefore, 10 years down the road, all of a sudden, PlayStation is the one that says, "Oh, we don't have nothing. No Call of
mm,
Duty."
I mean,
But
but
if you're a future thinking person, and if they pull the trigger and they say, okay, this could change the game, but that's only if you think Call of Duty will survive that long. Because like you said, you don't play Call of Duty anymore. I don't play Call of Duty anymore. If I'm playing a shooting game, it's Battlefield, just because I have a special feeling towards it, right? But even then, I'm not buying it unless it's on for cheap. Thing is, the future, the present, and everything else is all about those kids of today that are buying Call of Duty and calling each other horrible names over the headset, just like you did when we played
whatever.
SOCOM, and that is, they're just training the future to be Microsoft. They're training for the long run. They're planning for the long run to make sure that they are specifically Microsoft exclusive
Yeah, but that's
buyers.
the problem though. Is like the future's free to play. Nobody buys games anymore because they can just play them for free. So it's like Fortnite, Apex. It's like why would you like that's those basically have just like taken a giant chunk out of that because you can just play it for free and like not buy it.
It's all about the microtransactions.
Oh, and then yeah, there's a ton of money there as well. So that, but then it's like those both, but those are basically like eating into that market. So it's like that's not like Call of Duty doesn't have the dominance it once did. It's still big, but it's like it's not the big, like the one ring of just like controlling everything.
Yeah.
And then also like the future's unknowable. Like Apex just came out, and it's like, who's to say, um, there's not gonna be like another battle royale game that just comes out and is just huge and like everybody flocks to. So
Yeah, what
yeah,
about that game that EA made that they put out and it died a quick death?
which one?
I don't. Yeah, thank you. That was your answer right
I
there.
mean,
Which one?
there's like the Ubisoft Hyperscape that like is dead now. And
No,
there's
it's
like
that other
this
one that they're hyping up. It was like a one-word game.
one word.
Yeah, it was
Mm.
like, bleh, and that's exactly how it's sold. Bleh. And they're saying, "Oh, here, play this game. Play our new game where you can shoot people and all that." And it was free to play, and they didn't. Nobody wanted it.
I don't know. But then there's like
Arena is Arena. What is it called? I don't know.
I don't know what you're
You'll
talking
you'll
about.
find it out before the end of this podcast. So stick around, everybody, to the very end of this podcast, and Tekken will find out what game it is. That'll keep them going. But
FIM.
anyways, Activision is going to be like that was a great pickup, specifically for like you say Call of Duty. It'll make them lots of money and get some of their money back over the next couple of years. As long and the thing is, it's the only shooter in town. As much as I say I love Battlefield, when you think shooters, you think Call of
It's
Duty.
not the only shooter in town, dude. It's just
It's
like the
the
biggest one right now.
yes. When you think shooter, what do you think?
I
Call
mean, yeah, Call of Duty, but there's other stuff out there, and
Yeah, but the
there's
first
like,
one in your head is
I mean, that's
shooter.
the funny thing is like the other one I would think of is maybe like Overwatch, but they also own that now because that was Blizzard, so that's kind of funny. I
Yeah,
mean, I could think of like 10 shooters, dude. And it's like, okay, so we've got Call of Duty, Overwatch, Doom, Wolfenstein, Counter Strike,
that you can play
Valorant.
online with your friends by the billions.
Billions is an overstatement. Destiny, kind of, if you want to think of it as a shooter. Um, Far Cry. I need two more here.
That's right. You go, buddy.
Battlefield. Oh, I didn't say Battlefield. Yes, that's 9. Can I get 10? Can I get 10? Killzone. Boom. 10.
Kill zone. Kill zone. You're throwing me a kill zone and going boom on that.
Hey,
You
man,
go
last
boom on
Killzone,
me.
everybody liked it.
Oh my
I
god.
mean, critically anyway.
Yeah, I know, but when was the last time you played that? PS3.
No, no, it's
Oh,
PS4.
sorry,
Last one was on
PS4.
PS4.
Right, you're right. You're right. You're right. What is that game called? It's not Apex. It doesn't start with an A. Yeah, it's gonna bug the piss out of me.
I love how you don't even know the name of the game. You're just like that one.
Well, you're the one. I'm the guy who brings up the idea.
Dude,
This is how
if
our
it's a free to
relationship
play
is.
game and it tanked and I
I
didn't
make
hear
up a
about
game,
it,
and then yeah.
and you're just like, oh, it was the one, and it's like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
There's
just
that game that tried to be like Fortnite and it bombed.
oh, I think I know what you're talking about now, but it's like I don't know the name, Paladins
I thought
or
I
something.
thought it
No,
started with an A, but I might be
I
wrong.
don't know, man. It's I have to Google it.
Yeah, you Google it. You Google it as I hype up the
But
next thing.
wait. I want to get to like the second aspect of this
Oh, you're talking
transaction
about more
because
about your ass.
basically,
Okay.
if you look at the deal, and it's like you basically have to like split it into four or three. Crap, I can't remember now the analogy. It's like three or four. Anyway, kind of four, kind of three. Anyway, so it's like you've got the Activision thing we just like talked about for like 20 minutes, whatever, and then you've got like the Blizzard thing, and that's basically, but like Blizzard is PC centric, so it's like that. I am interested to see if oh crap, I think my Skype crashed. Hold up. Let me keep talking. But like, well, let me get Buff back here. I don't know why my Skype is crashing. It's been doing that lately. So let me. Wow, that was crazy. Okay, so yeah, Blizzard. Okay, hold on. Let me get this call back, and then I'll continue. What the bleep blarp is going on? All right, I think my Skype crashed.
Okay.
For some reason, it's been
I
doing
was
that
so
because I
I
had
was
it
so
open earlier and
wrong.
it just like crashed. But we're still recording, so everything's cool.
Okay.
I was gonna say though
So
about the Blizzard thing.
yeah.
Basically, it's like most of their stuff's on PC, so it doesn't really. I mean, they've been making inroads into console, but they're mostly like PC centric. So it's like World of Warcraft's not on PC, or I'm sorry, not on console. StarCraft's not on console. Like the various Warcraft games, not like other like RTS stuff and MMO stuff that they make a ton of money on is like not on console. But that being said, now they're owned by Microsoft. Microsoft is going to like essentially by proxy get those revenues and profits, um, which is big for them. And then I could see like a situation where they like try to put that stuff on console to get like versions of it on console, and then be like, haha, you can't get that on PlayStation. And then also like locks out, I imagine, the future versions of Diablo 4 and Overwatch that they were making, possibly, unless they had contracts for that, which they probably didn't. But even then, it's like, Diablo is like, what, 3 and 4 on console? And then, like, so, like, not even, like, the entire franchise is there, so it's not really a. It's like, yeah, like I was saying, it's basically PC centric, and then Overwatch. I've never played Overwatch, and I'm not a fan of it, so it's like, whatever, but, if that's your
And why aren't
thing,
you a fan
there
of
you go.
Overwatch?
Hmm?
Too many young kids playing?
It's just not. It's just not for me. It just doesn't. I look at it and it's not. The things it does are things that annoy me in current games. Like I don't like the hero system of games where it's like you have 50 different characters and they all have like they're just like varying degrees different because of the abilities they have versus like
Hmm.
you know it's or just it's a different system I don't enjoy, so I don't really care about. I don't play or gravitate to the games that are like that because it's not a design decision or choice that I agree with. So I just don't, and I don't like it, so I don't play those games. So it's like whatever. So
Okay. So, with that being said, are you ready to talk about Sony's?
oh, I got one more thing before that because
Oh, okay.
I got
Great.
the last third, which is the King deal, which is basically mobile. Which I don't know how much they make, but like mobile is weird to me because I just don't get it because it's like I don't play games on my phone. I mean, I have okay. I have literally one game on my phone, but I only have it because it's also on PC and it's like cross play and I can play it on both. But it's like I don't play it on phone primarily and I barely play it at all on my phone anyway. It's like I just like I was playing it really heavily when I was like really into it and I got it on my phone. I was like, oh yeah, I can play it on my phone. That's cool. But then
And what
I
game is this?
Gwent.
Oh, of course. Did you hear that they're coming up with a game
I
specifically
did. I
Gwent
did. I'm
exclusive?
looking forward to it because, like, when I first started playing, I was like, dude, they could make this single player focused, and it would be so awesome. And I had like a whole tweet thread about it, about like if they just like had it where you're going through different taverns in the world and you're playing different characters, or just like whatever, just keep the mechanics the same of like the card collecting and the card aspects of it, just keep that the same, but like have like an actual like story integrated into it. That would be
C-
awesome.
c- can they have like cards hidden on the in the world somewhere, and
The
you're traveling the
not
world, and you go,
not
"Oh,
in the
look, I
one I'm
found this
thinking of
card."
because like it's all like in my brain I prefer it if you're just playing cards and not it's like that's it.
Then then it's $20. I wouldn't spend more than $20
I'd,
if that is all it
I'd be
is you going
satisfied
in
with
the
that.
shower.
$20 for
Hey
a sweet Gwent
there,
game.
Sonny.
There's also the
Hey, you
Thronebreaker.
want to play some Gwent?
There's also Thronebreaker, which is a story-driven game that uses Gwent mechanics a lot. But it's not. I wouldn't say it. I didn't enjoy it. I mean, the story was awesome, but like gameplay-wise, I did not. I didn't really like playing through it. But I did enjoy the story and stuff. But it was not the Gwent experience I was looking for.
No.
I still like the game though, or the story rather. The game, but it's just like it's not not something I would recommend unless you're like really into The Witcher because it's a good side story of like how Geralt got his title
Your
and the whole
Gwent
thing
is
with
all
Queen
that
Meve.
Gwents.
Hmm.
That's right. Your Gwent is all that Gwents. Absolutely. All right, so yeah, $20. I wouldn't pay nothing more than that.
Okay, so what were you
And
gonna say before I had that? Oh wait.
yeah,
Okay, I just
you
want to
keep
say
going.
like
You're
we're gonna
ranting,
cut the
so
whole mobile thing short, but that's just because like I don't play a lot of phone games. Do you play a lot of phone games, Buff?
not games, but like, okay, here's 5 letters. Make words out of it. Stuff like that. Because I'm older, right? So therefore, I have to keep my brain active.
You could just play
Or
Tetris, dude. Just saying.
Tetris. That old game. Anyways,
Oh, speaking of like
so
old games that come back, Tetris. Yeah, that was Tetris Effect. That was good. I enjoyed that game. It was quite good.
you know, but
Um,
it's stuff like I picked up like AEW's GM mode and all that. That seemed like a good game. It's all right, but
do you
it
ever pay money or is it all free?
free baby. I
Yeah, see, that's the
ain't
same thing
throwing
with me. It's
no.
like Gwyn is free to play, so it's like I'm not spending any money on that. But like I think the thing with like mobile space is like all those games are free to play, but they have microtransactions and there's no ceiling on how much you can spend. So it's like you have people probably playing mobile that like spend over time more than they would if they bought a game that was like $60 for a console or something. So it's like
Only spend money on things that love ya, or you want to get some loving from. So that's
what the
that's
f?
that's how that works. So is that game going to give you loving or give you loving from? No.
That kind of
That
sounds like the same thing.
that you love or you're going to get loving from. It is a bit different. That's all I'm
Okay,
saying.
that I thought you said things that give you love or that whatever you're gonna get love from. That's kind of anyway. Whatever.
No.
That's
Yeah,
whatever. My
exactly.
brain.
That's what
Things
you
you love
spend
or you're
money
gonna
on.
get loving from. Okay.
That's right. See, there you go. You'll
But then
find
like
out.
there's so many people that are just like, oh man, I bought this sweet Fortnite skin, and it's like
Yeah.
I did it, however
Does it
many.
love you? At night, does it say it love you? That I love you,
But the thing
Tekken.
about that is like you if you do that like x amount of times over your life over the lifespan of like you playing that game, and then like you somehow end up spending like over. Let's just
Yeah.
say like the average person that like buys microtransactions spends over like $70, or hell, let's just say over 100 for example, on like microtransactions when they're playing a free to play game. That would mean that basically every user, not every user buys microtransactions, but if they're all like spending like $100 or more on the microtransactions in the game, they would have spent more on that game than they would have to like buy a copy of it to play on their console because it's like no games are going to be priced at $100 except for premium editions. So it's like that's and then like I guess like if you can get more people to spend, then which is like kind of like the whole thing now, and like looking at the psychology of people trying to like hook people into buying microtransactions. It's like is it exploitation of like trying to get people to spend after they're addicted to some game, and you have like these little trinkets in there. They're like, oh, buy this skin, buy this weapon, buy this or this
Yeah.
weapon skin rather, because it's
Yeah.
all cosmetic. So it's just like
You'll get more love if you buy this skin. The people you play against will
oh my
love you and
gosh.
respect you because you have now a skin that makes you look like an alligator. A walking alligator man. Ooh, a walking alligator man. You're the
Oh,
greatest.
it's funny
You've
that
earned
you
my
use like the
respect.
loving
It's
analogy because I was
just
gonna say
like
that basically you're just paying for like overpriced digital plastic surgery. So maybe they do love you more with your sweet digital boob
all I
job.
know is that when you dress up, you have a crown on your head. You get picked on by people. That's for sure. People don't like it that you got a crown on your head and they come right at you. I miss Fall Guys. That's all I'm gonna say.
And then
That's
okay, and here's like the other thing about mobile is like why it makes sense as far as like the money thing to me when I think about it, but like it just doesn't make sense because I'm never gonna spend any money on that stuff because it's all garbage.
no,
At least to me
you're
anyway.
cheap.
Like you like that, whatever.
You're
That's your
you're
cup of
cheapo.
tea.
It's okay.
But like it's like everybody has a phone, or not. Well, not everybody, but like let's say 90% of the population has like a mobile phone, smartphone device. That's like an instant install base of like billions, and so you've already beat the console space on that regard. So once you can get like inroads into software and like well the game's free, so obviously it's like there's no barrier to entry. So it's like basically all you have to do is just like it's like somehow con the marks into spending that money, and then you've made it. You can make that
Con the
Fortnite money.
marks. Yeah,
Get
that's
that
right,
Fortnite money,
Marks.
sue Apple, and get billions of dollars.
Let's see. There you go. All right, you done ranting about Activision yet? So we can get on to Sony.
But I was gonna say like King's game that they like the one game that they are known for is like Candy Crush, I believe. So it's like that's also under the Xbox
Yep,
banner in Microsoft
exactly.
now. So
When was the last time you heard Candy Crush?
I mean, just because you haven't heard
Hello,
it doesn't mean anything, dude. Like just
2014 called.
all those people out there are addicted to it that spend on it every day and just like don't stop. They're like, I got to get to the next level or whatever.
I don't
However that
know.
works in that game, I don't know how it
We
works
gotta
'cause I
look.
haven't
We
played
gotta
it.
look at the. We gotta look at how much money they make because I'm sure at the heyday nobody talks about it anymore. And at the time, that in farmland. Oh, come help me
You mean
get
Farmville?
some
Were
hay.
those in the same era? I feel like the Facebook
Yes,
games were like in a different time and like they kind of died off
yes,
anyway. But it's the same model, really. It's
it
like
is. And the
free to
same thing.
play
That's,
and then
but it's a name that they'll throw it out there and people will remember it. Oh, Candy Crush. I remember that was a hot game. Oh, they have that game. Oh, wow, that's fantastic. I don't play it anymore, but oh, it must be pretty big if they're still announcing it.
But yeah, dude, if like okay, to use a WWE analogy of like why they recap every episode is like it could be the first time someone watches. So it's like just because it's old to you doesn't mean it's going to be old to like everybody forever. Like someone could
Yeah,
stumble upon it, or it's got if it's in the top 10 charts on like the whatever Play Store or whatever, like and someone sees it and they're like, oh, what's this candy game? And it's like maybe that's how it stays evergreen and forever in the top 10 is because people are just like, oh, it's a candy game, and then they go to play it and it's like, oh, it's just a match three and like, oh, now I'm hooked, and then they're hooked, and then they're spending money, and it just goes and goes and goes. Because billions of
ever,
people have phones, and it's like, oh, how could you not try the candy game at least once? Same thing with effing Angry Birds in that effing
evergreen, eh?
game. Ugh.
Evergreen,
I mean,
eh?
I don't know. I just tend to look down on the mobile space and like the games in the mobile, uh, on mobile because it's like they're so simple and dumb and like very limited in what they do and just like it's whatever. And it's just like like in my brain just like melts when it's just like thinking about like the billions of people that play them because like everybody has those devices. But then it's like, are they really deserving of all that money and that like the 10 seconds of fame they get? But whatever. We can move on now because I've said my piece on that. But like, yeah,
Good.
what were you gonna say?
We'll get back.
Buff?
We'll
Okay.
get back to that. But you know what? You know what's better than competition? Nothing. Because then Microsoft
I would
comes
disagree.
along.
I would disagree.
It, the
Competition's not that great. So
the
I would
comp
say that better than competition is just lounging around all day doing nothing. It's great. It's a fun time. Don't have to compete. Like woo, relax. There we go. Relaxing. That's the word I was looking for. Relaxing is better than competing. Do you know what I didn't do when
it's
I was relaxing? I didn't sprain any muscles or like break any bones like I might competing. No thanks. No
exactly
concussions.
no concussions. So let's talk about Sony and how Sony is getting in there, and they've decided I'm going to do something that Microsoft should have done, and that is they bought the company that created the thing that made Xbox Xbox. From the creators of Halo and the current creators of Destiny, one of your favorite games,
Nope.
we have ourselves Bungie is now officially under the PlayStation umbrella. Now you can rant.
I mean, it's weird just because, like, before they were under Sony, they were under Microsoft, and then after that, they were under Activision, and they split from both of them, and now they're under Sony, and it's like they've completed the trifecta, which is odd. I don't know. It's all the statements that are put out, too. It's like, they're still independent, they still can self publish, they're still multi platform, so this is very much like, what the F? Like, why even bother? But then I mean, there was an okay article on The Verge today. It's not good. It's like it's very bad, but then some points are made that are decent. But I don't want to like trash the article. But like, just because of the points that are made about like the revenue streams, that's like really the only point to like look at is like why they did this because that's basically like if I mean Sony's made a lot of statements about like multi-platform or in the future live services or this is how we're going to get our revenue, blah blah blah. So it's like it's really like last month is basically just like the pivot, I guess, of like the two platform holders that are not Nintendo anyway, seeing the future being subscriptions, services, and subscription fees, and like that's kind of like the new. I don't know what to call this because it's not really a console war. It doesn't feel like anymore because it feels like it's like a weird like armistice of like let's all just make money together, and it's like a weird capitalism like disgustingness of like, well, actually, guys, if we play this right, we could all win. So,
Hmm.
you know, but it's like before we do that, we must have one last battle to get carve up the kingdom into fiefdoms to see who will land where. But
Wow.
as far as
There
like
you
the whole
go.
Destiny thing and like Bungie thing, yeah, it's like that seems to be the plan. Is like it's like that. There's like upwards of a million. I mean, I believe Witch Queen just got like a million pre-orders, so it's like they're not hurting on user base. And that game is full of microtransactions. Destiny 2, because I play that garbage and it's terrible. But if that's your thing, whatever. Um, so you can you can buy emotes, you can buy sparrows, you can buy ghost shells, you can buy shaders. You can, it's like it's kind of like the free to play model if it was like bolted onto the traditional gaming model that we have of like you buy a $60 game and you play it. But then Destiny's gone through like so many iterations. Like Destiny 1 was like the traditional model of a game. Destiny 2 is trying to be free to play, but then it has turned into it's free to play but. So it's like it's free to play but you cannot play like XYZ because that's an expansion you have to buy if you want to get that content. But then even if you get that content, there's always going to be all those stupid trinket microtransaction trinket things you can buy, you can spend money on if you want to customize your whatever with
Yeah.
with whatever design that you're like, oh man, I see that in the store and like, oh, I'm gonna spend money. Oh, so yeah, it's like they're making money because they're selling the game, but then there's also no ceiling because effing microtransactions. So I guess I mean I don't know how the money situation works there as far as like if they're still independent, like how much of a cut does Sony get? But it's like now it's all Sony money in that game if you're spending. So have fun with that. But then I think the thing with Sony, like Sony PlayStation specifically, is like this is like even what was the guy's name? Paul Ryan, Jack Ryan. I can't think of the dude over Sony Computer Entertainment Games. I feel so bad because I like got his name wrong and it's like I don't like him because he said stuff about like we believe in generations but then we don't. So I want to try to like get his name right before I
Yeah. So you
continue.
can
But
rip them smalls. Anthem. Anthem is the game we're looking for.
Anthem's from EA.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you did
And
say
that's
EA. Never mind.
and
That
it's
that game, that effing game. I didn't, dude. That whatever.
that effing game.
See, I didn't play that game because that was the time when I was like effing Destiny, dude. F every game like this and F games of service. This is actually going to segue really good into what we're talking about, and like F any game like that in the future because they're all effing trash that just try to like get you on a treadmill to nowhere and grind to nothing, and or not grind to nothing, but like the grind to nowhere and just like it's just not a fun time, and it's just like there's. But like anyway, that is also another game that was effing games of service. Which, as I was just saying about the traditional gaming model of like you put out a game, it's $60 or whatever, you go buy the game, play the game is over, and you're finished the game, and you go play another one. Then games of service is like, oh, let's just keep stringing them along and like air quote update the game with more air quote content. And everybody's happy, they keep playing the game, they keep playing the game. We can keep working on the game, and then we can keep adding little trinkets and microtransactions, and just like it's. I didn't want to say it's infinite profitability and revenue, but it's infinite profitability and revenue, and it's like, oh, yay, profit, and they blow their kazoo, and just like that. But this is very much tied into the whole like. I mean, this is kind of worrying for me, just because I hate games of service. Like after my experience with Destiny, I'm just like done with those games. Like I will never play them ever again. Because one of my favorite developers, Platinum, which I'm hoping Sony acquires, please, put out, or they haven't put it out yet, but I played the beta for it. It's coming out soon. I believe if it's not this month, it's next month. It's soon. Whatever. Babylon's Fall. This game's a service game. So I'm like, on the one hand, I enjoyed the beta, but then I was like, I don't want to play this game for 5,000 hours or 1,000 hours and like grind and get gear and loot. And it's just like, I think I've hit my wall/threshold with that, which is kind of sad because the the day when you can't grind in games, really, like you just don't find it fun anymore. It's very limiting on like the stuff that or it's not very limiting, but it's limiting for sure. Like what you can play or what you find, um, fun to play or whatever. But yeah, this to me is like just whatchamacallit. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
alarming. Jim Ryan, I looked it up. All right. So Jim Ryan was all like saying stuff about like, we're going to be multi-platform. We're going to have giant worlds that you can play in, yada yada yada. But so to me it's like this is like I mean I just said this a while ago, but like, like two of the platform holders, but specifically Sony and PlayStation are basically, they're platform holder, but they're also going to be a third party publisher now and put their content on, not just their competition's platform, but like wherever it'll go to get the money and get the sales and get the profit and revenue. So looking at the whole Activision deal, it's like, okay, Microsoft's locked up Call of Duty, and it's basic. But then they've also done this with all their other exclusives, really, like the Bethesda deal too. It's like, you want to play future Elder Scrolls games, this is where you got to go. You got to. I guess this also ties in. I mean, I'll get to there, but like this also ties into the whole like streaming situation that we have now with streaming in its current form, because it seems like everything's gonna be a walled. Well, not everything's a walled garden, but it's like we're that's like the worst case scenario. But it seems like we're at least gonna have alternatives, kind of, depending on what you're wanting to play.
Yeah.
So it's like
So
PlayStation is working on Project Spartacus. We don't know what it is. Supposedly it's like Game Pass, and then Game Pass is Game Pass. But then basically those services, it's like, you have to not only have the hardware, but you have to have the subscription. But it looks like going forward, they're trying to just get these services onto different platforms and devices to where if you have a subscription, you can just play wherever.
Mhm.
That's a lot. That's a lot of what the whole Destiny like stuff statements that were like made as far as like you can play anywhere, whenever, with your friends, all the time, no matter what platform. So it's like we're in like this new weird era of like cross platform everywhere, but it's not quite there yet. But that's like the vision of like, say I'm playing on Xbox and I have Game Pass, and then like I'm playing effing, well crap, I guess that wouldn't work with it because it's like, okay, hypothetically, in a hypothetical scenario, here we go. Okay, so I'm on my Xbox Series S, and I'm playing on Game Pass some Call of Duty game. Whatever, the latest Call of Duty, let's say Call of Duty 2025. F it. And then Buff is on his PlayStation 5 playing, well, if it's
Fall Guys.
exclusive,
Fall
also
Guys.
playing Game Pass on his PS5 Call of Duty 2025. And we're playing together, even though we're not on the same hardware, but we can still play together because we both have the service/subscription of Game Pass, and then also Sony's allowing that whole like cross-platform thing to go through. So it's like Microsoft's making the money on the Game Pass subs, but then on the PS5 side, they're getting a cut of that subscription fee or whatever money is involved. So it's like I was saying earlier, it's like this weird apparatus that is like being constructed by like the 1% of the the gaming
Yeah.
the gaming platform holders to just like, all right, dudes and ladies, how do we all make some money out of this? Because we can all walk away with billions and billions of dollars. I mean, especially when you attach it to, I mean, really, I think like the thing that's gonna be like the home run slam dunk is like once they get on mobile, which Xbox kind of already has with like XCloud, which is basically just like Game Pass on mobile, which there's a beta for it. I haven't used it, but it's like, yeah, that's I said that like a couple episodes ago. It's like when that's like I was like, dude, Game Pass, it's over, slam dunk. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of a wrap. But the one thing is that like you kind of like, even though you can play anywhere, it's like unless the games are there, it's like, well then, it's like if there's no games, then like what's the point of playing? Which is like, Project Spartacus, we don't know, so it's like, well, we can only speculate. So and then here's my thing is like, I don't think that Spartacus is going to be one to one like Game Pass. I don't think Sony's going to put all their games like in that service behind a paywall, because it's like I feel like if you look at what they've done with their putting their games on PC, it's like they just want to be a true third party publisher. They just want to put their
Mm-hmm.
games everywhere, and then you can play it everywhere. Like you don't need a subscription; you can just pay a fee. Like A, they don't want to like lock you into that, and then B, it's a better like money deal because it's like, I mean, hypothetically, if you could just like buy it once and play it wherever, like cross buy, like universal cross buy, that'd be awesome. But it's like we'll see what happens because it's like, because that's the thing with Game Pass is like it's such a good deal. It's like why would I bother? Like I okay, so like we have Horizon and Gran Turismo. Those are $70 games. That's $140 for both those games. With a normal $10 a month Game Pass subscription, you could afford 1 year of Game Pass at that same price, and even lower because it's 120 versus 140. But in the Game Pass library, depending on like what you're, into, like how many games are there in there, which I would say, arguably, even though we haven't seen it yet, if Horizon 2 is like legit what everybody wants it to be and thinks it will be, there's nothing like that in Game Pass or as good, at least not until Starfall comes out. And then effing Gran Turismo, it's like it's close between that and Forza, but they're Apple and Apple. Can't talk. Getting too hard ahead of myself. So you have Forza and like Gran Turismo, but it's like Horizon is apples and oranges because it's not a track racer. It's like it's not simmy. It's more arcadey. And then I can look up the app real quick, but I don't think there's any like actual legit Forza Motorsport games on Game Pass. That being said, they're always working on it, so but it feels like they kind of stopped doing like every other game is like Horizon and every other game is Motorsport, and they just started like focusing on Motorsport. But we'll see what happens with Playground Games and what they're working on next, or Turn 10. But then I think they combine the studios or whatever. But basically, it's just like. But that's kind of like the future, really, because it's like it's just basically going to be like net. Well, to tie it all into like the whole streaming thing I brought up earlier, it's like it's like on Netflix. It's like okay, well, what do I feel like watching? What do I like? Is there any of this on the service? So it's like if I like awesome sci-fi dystopian future stuff like effing Altered Carbon, my favorite. It's like, well, what else is on there like that? Or like, where else can I go to like find awesome stuff like this? And it's like, there's 2 seasons of that, and there's an animated movie, and it's like beyond that, it's like, yeah, have fun trying to find other awesome stuff like that because it's pretty unique in that regard. I mean, there's other sci-fi stuff on there, but is it as good? Or just, I guess it's just a matter of like what you're into and like, is it on there and like how much of there is it? Because it's like if you're into shooters, there's tons of shooters. Like you're never gonna have an issue of like, oh man, let me try to find a shooter to play. So it's like you may not be able to play Call of Duty, but it's like there's tons of like not as good shooters that are like Call of Duty, so you're not gonna have any issue with. Um, and like yeah, JRPGs, if you're into that, it's like there's gonna be like plenty on both. If I mean, we really just need like the last piece of the puzzle, which is just like knowing the specifics about Spartacus. But like, cause like now I'm just speculating. But it's like it's like yeah, they'll be on both, but it's like you're probably gonna have like more and more variety on PlayStation. So it's like I don't know. It's weird because it's like it because like we don't know the pricing or like whatever's like paywalled or what's up with like PlayStation. But like as far as like Microsoft, it's like there's stuff there, but it's like if you're not on Ultimate, which like adds in all the EA stuff, it's not. I don't want to say it's pretty barren, but it's like it's not the end all be all that people worship it to be. It's still good, but it's not like if you're not into like what's on the service, if you're like or you're a fan of like niche games and stuff like visual novels, dating sims, stuff like that. I mean, there's still like maybe like a couple on there, but it's not like full of them like it is like everything else that's been oversaturated over the course of gaming since its inception. Because there's a ton of like third-person action, first-person shooter, RPG. The basics like or not the basics, but like the tried and true pillars of gaming. There we go. Like those genres.
So, anyways, let's yell at you a bit more.
All right, I
So
just
that's
looked
our
it up on the app, and there's only Forza Horizon 4 and 5 on Game Pass, so there's no actual motorsport games. So there's
do
arcade
you
racing, but not sim racing.
do you see yourself in this year of our Lord 2022? Do you see yourself playing less video games or more video
Oh, dude,
games?
I already have like a year's whatever to play more JRPGs. So I'm. It's weird. It's weird actually, because my 2020 thingy for PlayStation that like gives you your time was like 3,000 hours, and then my 2021 was like less than that. So I like somehow played less in 2021, which I felt like I was playing every day, but I guess I wasn't. But whatever. And then I mean, okay, time out. So when you say am I playing more, like more compared to
Will you
what, just in
play more?
general?
Like as compared to last year, do you feel yourself doing that?
I
That's
feel like I'll
all.
be playing more because I'm not gonna be playing anything that's gonna be draining my time. Like I'm not like Final Fantasy 14. I already played through that and my sub ran out, and I'm not re-upping. And then Destiny 2. I'm jumping ship once which one? Ugh, wow, I am jumping ship once Witch Queen comes out and deleting it and getting all that hard drive space back. Thank goodness, 90 gigs. Thank you. And I will be free, and I will be able to just carve a trail of destruction through all the games in my backlog, and it'll be delicious. And I cannot wait. Just be like finishing games left and right every week and every day. It's just gonna be. It's so good. It's gonna be so good.
Mm, very nice. Okay. So, what was your favorite game of 2021?
I have a top three. I don't have a favorite.
That's fine.
So
Whatever.
Forza Horizon 5, that was really fun. Mass Effect Legendary Edition, because it's still great. And then Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker, because whew, man, the emotional like levels, untouchable of like the peaks it went to like what you felt in that conclusion. Oh, so good. The, yeah, I can like it's hard for me to put into words, but that is like what I would say about Endwalker. It's just I can just make mouth noises because that's how good it was.
Mm, mm. It's okay.
What was your favorite game last year?
Oh, I didn't play any.
Whatever.
So,
You didn't play
Fall
anything new, or
Guys.
you didn't play anything.
Didn't play anything new.
Oh,
But like you said, that well, I shouldn't say that. I did near the end of the year pick up the Guardians of the Galaxy game,
I was about to say. And
and
then
that
like
was
but then like why? Oh no, continue. Sorry, I'll
and
say
it
it
was
after that.
and it's a very good game. I'm still playing through it. The visuals, oh, the visuals are nice. When you hit some of those nice uh, panel screens, I know I put one up on Instagram. I know you don't have Instagram, Tekken, but put one up there. Just beautiful. And then it's a little talky. You know me, Tekken. Let's get to the action, baby. That's enough talking. Let's get to the action. You know, but at the same time, what you do and what you say affects the gameplay, and it's very good. I'll give you an example. We're riding with the bad guy on this float, and so he's giving us his big take over the world speech or whatever, right? Well, he has this little mechanical box, right? So then Rocket jumps up on the box and starts trying to reprogram it, right? And so it's my job to keep asking the guy questions to keep him distracted, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
if I hit the wrong question to ask him. So he turned around and saw a rocket on the box. He said, "Get off there." So then, so then I couldn't use that box for the level that I was playing. When he said, "Because you couldn't hack into the box, you're on your own." So then I had to play the level without the help of the artificial intelligence that it could have hacked, and that's pretty sweet in theory, right? So that kind of stuff is pretty good.
Yeah, that game did get a lot of praise for being good at the end of the year. It was weird. I remember that game when it was shown at E3. There were so many people that were down on it, and I was like, that looks good. And then like I saw everybody was like hating it, and I was like, I don't understand why everybody's hating this game. So that was weird to me, man. But I'm glad I was
It,
right, and the effing haters are wrong like always. So suck it,
yeah.
haters.
Amen. Amen.
But
Suck it.
I was gonna
Suck
say,
it.
do you ever download any of the games in the PlayStation Plus collection? Because
That
there's a
was
ton
going
of
to be my
those.
next question. I actually was going to pose to you. We've now turned into February. We now have a whole bunch of PlayStation Plus games. Mr. Tekken, you know what games they are. Do they tickle your fancy?
I mean, I will enjoy running through the Tiny Tina like one shot because it's probably short. Well, actually, it's like a repackage of like another DLC, but like it's an easy platinum, I believe, because I saw someone tweet about it or put it in one of the party chats I'm in. So I'm like, if it's that easy, then it's like, well, easy platinum. I mean, I will not play any of these games anytime soon though, because there's new games coming out this month. I already pre-ordered one. But it's like, besides the Tiny Tina one, isn't there just like roller coaster thingy and
Yes.
what's the third one?
Yeah, I don't know.
But like, that's the only one that really interests me. But it's like, I've already played it because I've already got that DLC in Borderlands 2. So
Oh, there
it's
you
like,
go.
whatever. I've already played it, but it's like, I'll play it again if it's a free platinum.
It's free. Bling bling.
I could care less about the effing roller coaster, whatever the F thing. I have to look this up now because I'm annoyed that I don't
But I
know the
heard the
third
roller
one.
coaster was the best one.
Eh. Oh, UFC. I mean, whatever.
Oh, UFC. Yeah, well, that's
I
not
mean,
bad.
I'm not into those types of games, but it's like I won't mind having a free copy. I'm probably like, I mean, that's the thing is like
Would
none of this
you?
stuff goes to the top of my list as far as like I'm playing stuff right now, and it's like there's nothing here that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna stop playing what I'm playing now to play through this stuff. So it's
Here's
like
a question
none of
for
it's
you.
the spot.
Here's a question for you. If you can get UFC, right, and I get
Mm-hmm.
UFC, would you fight me online?
Sure, why not?
Yes. Perfect. There you go. There you go. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna download. I'll download it. You make your character. I make my character. We'll have a fight off. How's that?
Okay.
In the cage. Finally, we get our aggravation out at each other in the cage. It's beautiful. I love it. All right, I'll download it today. I'll download it today.
Okay, I just want to finish my analogy I was making about the whole like things being carved up from fiefdoms because like we've got Netflix, we've got Paramount Plus, we've got Discovery Plus, we've got Disney Plus, all these effing streaming services, but it's like I hate so much that it's like I can't watch. I mean, there are ways, wink, but it's
Wink,
like if I want to legitimately, legally watch something that is not on a service that I do not own, it's
wink.
like there's things I have to do. And then even then it's like if I only have one, it's like I'm missing out on everything else. So it's like streaming has basically ruined what it was. It used to be like back when Netflix had a monopoly, that was the best when it was like everything was on Netflix. Now it's like the worst because it's like you basically just turn streaming into cable of like, well, do you have this? Do you
Yeah,
have this? Do you have this? Do you have HBO? Do you have Showtime? Do you have
yeah.
Cinemax? It's like,
The WWE Network.
it's like, dude, I just want to watch effing Star Trek. I don't want to, but then I don't want to pay. So it's like, F that crap.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
have YouTube now. I can like just watch whatever, like the F I want, like anytime with ad block.
Anytime.
So go off yourselves. And it's
There you go.
like,
Suck it. Suck it, as Tucker would say.
I'm not gonna
Suck
do
it.
that. Where it's like gaming is kind of turning into that, and what's not yet, but it's like I don't know. It's like an alternate version. It's not the same thing quite yet. I hope it doesn't. That's like another nightmare scenario. But it's like at least with PlayStation, it seems like they're gonna try to get all their stuff everywhere, and then like we'll see what Spartacus is. But with like Game Pass, it's all like if you want to play these exclusives, they're locked behind the paywall. I mean, you don't have to pay the sub because you could just buy it standalone. But why would you buy it standalone when the subscription fee is so cheap? And that being said, Game Pass, if they raise the prices, I am going to be crapping all over that because that's what makes it so good right now. It's like it's 120 for a year. It's like that's 2 games. And like if you pay Ultimate, it's 180. That's 3 games. So it's like it is so good right now to like if they ever change that, I will be so pissed and just
So
like
what's the
dead to me
difference
forever.
between Ultimate and Platinum?
Ultimate, you get Xbox Live Gold and you get EA Play with your subscription. I believe those are like the two big things. Everything else is pretty much the same because it's just the same library of games.
Okay.
But like it's man, when you open that up and you see all those EA games and it's just like you have all the Battlefields, you have all the Dragon Ages, you have all the Mass Effects, you have both Mirror's Edges. It's just there's so much and you're just like, this is amazing. And it's just like and then like you
You
see all
have
the Bethesda
Anthem.
stuff that they acquired and you're like they have all the Dooms, they have all the Wolfensteins, they have id 2, so they have Quake and it's like they have all that
They have
the shooters,
they,
they
they
have all
have
the
they have
classic shooters. And it's just like
they have,
and then they have backwards compatibility and it's not complete trash like on PlayStation. So they have like all these legacy games. So it's like, oh, if I want to go back and play Dead Space 1, Dead Space 2,
yeah.
Dead Space 3, oh my gosh.
Dong.
And it's just like, dude, effing so good. And it's like, yeah, like the Fables, the old Fables, they got like it's in alphabetical too, so you're just like going down the list and you're just like and just like seeing like every different like series that they have that are good because there's so few, but it's like the ones they do have. It's like Banjo Kazooie, they bought Rare. I forgot about that. Or like I forgot
Banjo.
about
When was the last time someone said
Perfect Dark. I
Banjo
haven't seen you in
Kazooie?
forever. Let's play that. It's like just it's essentially just like the the like, or I guess not the final evolution, but it's like basically like an iterative step, I guess, on like game or not game. I almost said the wrong thing. Sega Channel back in the day, like that used to be a thing. So it's basically just like that, but like not the same thing, and better because it's got more. Well, I mean, it's just let's just call it Xbox Channel, Xbox Sega Channel, whatever. It's basically the same thing. I don't know how much Sega Channel used to cost back in the day, but it's basically the same model because it's like it's a subscription for games, and it works, and it's a good price, and it's pretty effing good, and I recommend it. So yeah. But the thing about like the whole like covering things up and like sticking them behind paywalls and walled gardens is like we have yet to see. I mean, I'm sure like Microsoft would like to have their Game Pass on PlayStation, but like now that PlayStation's got like they're gonna make their own thing about it. It's like they can just be like, no, go for yourself. I mean, it's weird. Like that's my thing about like why I'm thinking like it's just like gonna be like a weird like at the end of the day, like a weird like apparatus of money that they all sit on and like swim in like Scrooge McDuck. Is like, well, like why wouldn't they, agree and like put their services on each other's thing on each other's platforms and then be like, let's all make money together. So now, I mean, I guess if you think about like the last holdout's just gonna be Nintendo because like they're not gonna give that money up. They're like we're not gonna give you Mario, never. From our coated hands, you'll have to pry him and all our mascots. Never. So yeah, but then like PlayStation's gonna be on like all their games are well, not all of them, but like over time, all it's gonna come to PC, and then people on PC can play it, so it's on PC, it's on Xbox, it's on PlayStation. It's like they're like I said, they're third party now, and then like eventually when phones get powerful enough, I guess maybe that's the plan. But actually, I guess. Well, I guess if you think about it, no, they have PlayStation Now, and then Xbox uses xCloud, so they could just use like the PlayStation Now technology to stream it if they want to stream it. But like that's not ideal. At least for me, I prefer to just like download something and play it versus streaming it because it's depending on what you're playing and the lag involved and the rates of like things are being transferred and your upload download and all that stuff. It's just it's more of a technical hurdle to get over to play the stuff that you want to play versus just downloading and playing it. So guess we'll see if that's what's going to happen, but that's the future I see with all this stuff that's been happening. So
There you go. All right. Well, that was our video game chat. Isn't that nice? That was a
but
nice
we're not
chat.
done. We didn't talk about the games we're looking forward to this year. What are you looking
Well,
forward to?
this year the game
I
I'm
mean, I
looking
guess we
forward
don't
to.
know until like E3, but like as far as like what we know now. Okay, there
Well,
we
the
go.
Midnight Suns game for me is the number one with a bullet. I don't care what the people who've played it are saying about it, and they're saying it's not as good as XCOM. Well, of course, it's not going to be as good as XCOM. They're dumbing the game down so that kids and other people can give it a try. And if you like that, then you can come to XCOM or whatever. But they want to make it nice and easy for everybody to get in and try. They want to be Doctor Strange. They want to be Iron Man, which I hear is who's in the game. They want to be Ghost Rider, that kind of stuff. It's just that they've dumbed it down to make it accessible to everybody. So that's good. But I don't care as long as I get to play as my Marvel heroes. Then that's okay. And I hope that it's not that piece of trash in that stupid car, or I am not. And that's the only thing I'm doing. If it's that piece of trash in the car, I'm not going to pick up the game, and they can burn in hell with with the real Ghost Rider, because this one is not the real Ghost Rider. And I've said it before, and I've said it before, and I've said it before, and now I'm saying it
Said
again.
it before. Said it
That dude in
before.
the
Said it
car
before.
is a piece of trash, and he doesn't deserve to be called Ghost Rider. And that, as we say, is that. Now, what game are you looking forward to?
All right. As far as known quantities, because there's really like a secondary what I'm looking forward to, which is always like what I don't know about of just like the hot megatons that are secret or hidden or just like we haven't heard yet, we haven't heard announced yet, but like or stuff that there's like whispers of like now that like the whole Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 thing is out there, it's like ooh, but until it's actually a thing, there's that stuff, but they're like stuff that actually exists. Gotham Knights, please be not terrible like Arkham Knight, because Arkham Knight, I'm not talking about it. I won't talk about it, but man, F that game.
I don't think you have to. Your vomiting is speaking volumes.
I was so hyped for that game, and it just crashed into the ground. Effing Batmobile.
Be like me, Tekken. Hate everything, and then be surprised if you don't hate it after at the end. That's what that is.
So there's that. Horizon Zero Dawn 2. Horizon Zero Dawn 1. Or Forbidden West. Horizon Zero Dawn, the first one, was one of my favorite games on PS4. It was my game of the generation until I played Witcher 3. And that game was like sublime. It is just the good. No, it's like top tier goodness, good stuff. Those are my top two, because I think that's really it. Because it's like, yeah, Gran Turismo, but it's really just more the same. So there's not really, it's like it's not like going to change anything too drastic. And I did pre-order Sifu, but it's like that's just because I'm excited about it. I don't really have like high expectations as far as like, oh, it's going to be the best game in 5,000 years. Oh, okay, Buff. On at the start of the podcast, you said you were going to talk about Joe Biden. So what do you have to say about Joe Biden?
How you doing about your buddy Joe? You like Joe, don't you?
Uh, I mean, he's okay. Son of a bitch. I
He's
think I'm going to
losing
say
it.
that every time now. Like, whenever you ask me about him, just like say something and then just be like, end it with "son of a bitch."
Okay. Oh, there you go. Now there's the FBI coming at you. Joe don't like being talked to like that. I'll tell you that much. They want to have a word with you, mister. So you want to leave the country, do you? Wow, you're gonna have to get cavity searched and searched and searched. Oh, you better believe you're getting searched. Oh yeah. Are those fingers in my throat? That's how far up they're gonna check you. That's for sure. Anyways, we will talk about Mr. Biden on the next adventure that we have. Because now that I got a laptop, which I didn't have the last time, and you say I sound good, which is much better than what I usually do, then we for sure will hit 50 a lot sooner than 6 years from now. So that's good. So would you like to sign us off there, big man?
Uh, Okie dokie. Let me try to open this up. All right. So yeah, that is it for Man, we spent a lot of time on the Activision thing.
You did. You had a lot
We
of
like
rage.
barely talked about this or anything, but that's because it's. I mean, I guess we talked about it, but like whatever.
Well,
It's.
the big
I mean,
deal,
here's. But I guess like the other
they
thing to
got
talk.
they
I mean,
got
the other thing I
Call
want
of
to like
Duty.
say like
That's
real
the big
quick.
deal.
Wait, go.
The
Wait.
not big deal is that okay? They got Bungie. Whoop-de-doo. They don't even have Halo. If Halo was coming to PlayStation, then that would be a big deal. The thing is, Call of Duty trumps Halo right now because now has all the cards on the table if they need to. You know what I'm saying? So that's good. So unfortunately, PlayStation made a deal. I'm sure it'll do them somewhat good, but it's not as good as the Activision deal in my view. It's kind
I'm.
of like Sasha Banks in a Sailor Moon outfit.
What?
Sure, sure. It's nice. It's nice to see her wrestling in it, but you'd rather see her bumping the canvas, if you know what I mean. So,
I lost my train of thought, dude. I was gonna say something about effing. Oh,
Sasha.
okay, okay. I think another thing. I mean, I tweeted this out. Let me try to find it. But it kind of like doesn't apply because we know like more of the facts now. Because I didn't even read the article that was like linked to it. I just like saw the headline and I was like, what? Um. Also wondering about the Oh wait, that's not it. That's not important. Okay, so yeah, about PlayStation acquiring Bungie. It's like, okay, so do they let Bungie make a new Killzone, Resistance Mag, Siphon Filter, or are they a legacy shooter, or
Yep.
greenlight a new IP and hold Destiny hostage to keep getting COD? So I think with all the details that we know now, as far as like they're gonna just do whatever because they're still independent, can still self-publish, they're still multi-platform. So it's like
Hmm.
they don't really have any exclusionary or not exclusionary, but like there's no exclusivity deals at all really in place. It feels
Hmm.
like I think this is just a play to once those Call of Duty. Well, I mean that's the thing though. It's like it's not a counter move. Like this was in the works months before, so it's like so weird to me. That's just like this is just like a coincidence. It's like what? It's like such a. It's mind blowing. It's just like where are the odds that like Microsoft goes after Activision Blizzard acquires them and then like you know little
Hmm.
little known to them, PlayStation is going after Bungie, and then they get them. It's just like what? So, but then it's like but it makes perfect sense, I guess. So it's like a good, I guess it was a good strategy by Sony because it's like it's a good counter move to like, have that in your back pocket if like it's like, oh, so you want to keep Call of Duty? Well, guess what? We're gonna keep Destiny. But then I guess, but I don't know. I don't think it's gonna work like that because like the statement they put out makes it seem like they have so much freedom at Bungie to do like whatever. They could just like give us the middle finger and be like, we're not gonna do that. Or just who's to say that like they don't make billions and billions and then they just buy their rights back like they did when they split from Microsoft and then Activision. So who knows?
That's
But
right.
crap. There's another point I wanted to make real quick before I signed off, and I can't remember what it was now. What were we talking about? Was it?
Sasha Banks.
Oh,
That's what I was
Activision,
talking
Blizzard,
about.
PlayStation. I think that was.
And
You
I'm
know.
not a pervert like you are.
Oh, I remember now. I remember. Shut up. So the thing was about the whole thing with like Jim Ryan saying the stuff is that he did say that they have more deals lined up that they're working on that are coming down the pipe. So that is what I'm also interested to see as far as like, ooh, Jim Ryan putting some power moves out there of like, well, that's not just we're not done yet, or like one more thing before we go. So I am. So yeah, apparently Bungie's not the last one. But then I like at the start of this all, I was like kind of worried about the whole like acquisitions, monopoly, consolidation. But I'm kind of like super until like something like really serious happens. It's like I'm kind of like just still super whatever about it because like at first it's like I can see the small ramifications, like macro level. If I zoom out, it's like I can see like stuff, but it's like nothing like super duper earth shattering has really, in my opinion, happened yet. So it's just like until that happens, I'm just like, whatever. It's like it's like Avengers versus X-Men until I'm not gonna say who dies, and it's like nothing really happened. It's like okay, well all these superheroes are just like fighting, stuff's happening. I mean, I guess Hulk like broke his arm, but whatever. So, but yeah. So until something actually happens where someone dies, or I guess not something dies, but something super serious happens. There we go. That was a weird sentence. So I'll be looking forward to seeing like what the next acquisitions are that they have planned, or that they haven't announced yet, or that they maybe have already done, but they're just waiting to hold in their back pocket, or maybe at the state of play they're gonna like and not only that, after the Gran Turismo thing, it's like oh what's this? But yeah, I still feel like PlayStation has like more momentum because they've got PS5, it's still doing good, still doing great, and they've got like the VR2 stuff, so it's like they're still working on that. They still got their software lineup that's like actually still like rolling like it's been. So I still think they've got the momentum, even though
Mhm.
Microsoft's got the money. so, so I guess we'll see who wins out, or if it's just a like I said, love fest of where everybody wins and just swims around in
That's
their
right.
Scrooge McDuck pools of money and
Yeah.
like we all win together. It was a
Right.
It was like Civilization or Age of Empires when it's a crap. I can't think of what it's called when like you win, but it's like it's like a allied win or something. It's like
That's what
everybody
it
wins,
is.
but nobody loses.
Yeah, that's right.
Anywho,
It's called my relationship with you. That's called.
I guess
Anyway, my
cultural
friend, sign
victory. I
us
guess.
off, and we'll try to do this sooner than later.
Yeah, because it's been like a long effing time since we
A
recorded.
long effing time. That's what you should say. Call the episode a long
I
effing
don't
time.
give these titles anymore, dude. It's not happening.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't even think we had. I
Roasting
don't even think we had
marshmallows on
Omicron
the
the last time we
fires of
talked about, or
America.
last
You
time we
don't think that?
podcasted. That wasn't even a thing.
Well,
Omicron.
when we do the political Joe Biden one from next week, or next time we talk, which could be next week, we'll talk. We'll call that roasting marshmallows on the flames of America. There you go.
All right. Well, that is our episode for today. Now, who knows when the next time you'll hear it? So enjoy it, because
Yes,
we don't exactly pump these out every week like I would like to. Anyway,
you would like to talk to me more than just on Fridays.
yes.
Because I have a feeling on Fridays if we talk we wouldn't say anything at all. We'd be like, shake your shot. Yeah, hey Tiger, how you doing? Yeah.
What are you talking about, dude? We could just like start incorporating more and more of like the weirdness of our lives into the podcast. Like you could start talking about wrestling every
Yes.
episode,
Damn right.
Road to
Damn right.
WrestleMania happening.
I'm in. We see how to talk about Rumble.
Wow, that's all I
The
had to say.
the only
That's
good
all I
thing
had
was
to say.
Sasha Banks bouncing off the canvas. You know what I mean? Second, show me
Oh.
that clip. Hello, hello, Sasha. I'm a shark. Anyway, yeah, sign us off. I got a race. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you said you were gonna talk about comics. You didn't say anything about comics, dude.
We'll talk about comic. I tell you what. I'll see what my day off is next week, and we'll have another one. We'll talk
Okie
about
dokie.
wrestling, comics, and Joe Biden. We'll talk about cartoons in general. There you
All right.
go.
That's it for this episode of Taking and Buff Save the Universe. So until you hear from us again, thanks for listening, and we're now signing off.
And if we've if you're still here by the next time you hear us, that means we've saved the universe. So you're welcome.